The baby's cries echoed through the silent house, weak and desperate. Her tiny hands trembled as she lay on the cold floor, hungry and unwashed. The nanny scrolled on her phone indifferent. The mother, she was at work, too busy to notice her child suffering. But everything changed the day the baby fell gravely ill. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting an orange glow over the vibrant city of Kano. The street bustled with life, but all eyes were on the grand wedding taking place in the city's most luxurious event hall. Zara stood in front of a massive mirror, adjusting the delicate embroidery on her white and gold gown. She was breathtaking, an elegant bride with a determined heart. Beside her, a bridesmaid fused over final details, but her mind was elsewhere. She had worked hard to build a career, and now she was about to marry the love of her life, Ibrahim, a man as ambitious as she was. He was already a senior manager at a tech company, and she was one of the top accountants in the city. Together they were a power couple, ready to take on the world. As she walked down the aisle, her heart pounded not with fear but excitement. Ibrahim stood at the end of the aisle, looking as dashing as ever in his traditional white kaftan, his deep brown eyes filled with admiration. The ceremony was beautiful, the air filled with the scent of fresh roses and the sound of family members cheering. As they exchanged vows, Zara whispered, "I promise to stand by your side in wealth and in struggle, in success and failure." She meant every word. But neither of them knew that life would soon test that promise in a way they never expected. Marriage was everything Zara had hoped for, at least in the beginning. Their home was filled with laughter, late-night conversations, and the shared dream of building a bright future. Both of them worked long hours, coming home late but always making time for each other. To them, love meant ambition, growth, and success. Then one morning, Zara woke up feeling different. Her body was exhausted and nausea rolled through her like waves. She dismissed it at first, probably stressed from work, but when she missed her period, she knew. Holding a pregnancy test in her hands, her heart raced when two bold lines appeared confirming the news. She sat down, her mind spinning. She wanted this, right? She had always imagined herself as a mother, but not yet. She had so many goals to achieve first. That evening, she broke the news to Ibrahim, who lifted her in excitement. "A baby, Zara! This is the best news ever." She smiled, but deep down, fear crept in. Could she really juggle work and motherhood? She decided she could. Zara worked through her pregnancy, refusing to slow down. Even when Ibrahim urged her to take it easy, she brushed off his concerns. "I'm fine, Ibrahim. Pregnancy is not a sickness." But she had no idea how much life was about to change. 9 months later, Zara found herself lying in a hospital bed, drenched in sweat, her body aching from labor. The cries of a newborn filled the room, and as the nurse placed the baby in her arms, tears rolled down her cheeks. Amina. She was tiny, delicate, her skin a soft brown, her tiny fingers wrapping around Zara's in a weak grip. At the moment, something inside Zara shifted. She felt her love deeper than anything she had ever known. Ibrahim standing beside her kissed her forehead. "She's perfect." For the first few weeks, Zara tried to do everything. A full-time mother, a working woman, a wife. She barely slept, waking up every 2 hours to feed Amina, then logging into work meetings during the day. But exhaustion caught up with her. One evening after a long day, she broke down in tears. "I can't do this, Ibrahim. I need help." Ibrahim, always supportive, held her close. "Then let's hire a nanny. It will give you time to focus on work." She hesitated. The thought of leaving Amina with a stranger made her uneasy. But work was demanding and she didn't want to fall behind. In the end, she agreed. It was a decision she would later regret. They interviewed a few nannies before settling on Halima, a woman in her late 30s who had glowing references. She was soft-spoken, respectful, and appeared to love children. Zara was relieved. With Halima handling Amina's daily care, she could focus on work without guilt. Every morning, she kissed Amina goodbye, reassuring herself that she was in safe hands. But she never saw what happened when she left. At first, Halima did the bare minimum, feeding Amina, dressing her, and making sure she was clean. But as time passed, her care became sloppy. Some days she forgot to change Amina's clothes, other days she left her go hungry while she scrolled on her phone. Then, as Amina grew into a toddler, Halima's treatment worsened. She made the little girl sweep the floor, fetch her slippers, and even wash small dishes. If Amina cried or refused, Halima pinched her arms and told her, "Your mother doesn't have time for you. You should learn to be useful." Amina learned to keep quiet, and Zara, she was too busy to notice. Amina's tiny hands scrubbed the floor, her stomach growling from hunger. She dared not to ask for food. She had learned that when she did, Halima would snap. "Go sit down, you're too spoiled." She didn't understand why her mother left her with this woman every day. Sometimes she waited by the door, hoping Zara would come home early, but when she did, she was always too tired to notice how sad Amina was. Ibrahim sensed something was off. One evening, he noticed Amina's fingernails were dirty and her dress looked unwashed. Zara, is Halima taking good care of her? Zara barely looked up from her laptop. Of course, she's just a kid. Kids get messy. The warning signs were there, the missed smells, the bruises on Amina's arms, the quiet sadness on her eyes, but they didn't see it, not until the night Amina collapsed. The night was quiet, with only the faint hum of crickets outside. In the dimly lit living room, Halima lounged on the couch, glued on her phone. She barely glanced at Amina, who sat curled up in a corner, shivering under a thin sheet. Her stomach growled, but she dared not ask for food. Today had been especially hard. Halima had made her carry a bucket of water from the backyard, and her little arm still ached. Her body felt weak, her heart throbbed, then suddenly everything went dark. Amina collapsed. A loud thud echoed in the room. Halima's head snapped up. Her heart pounding, she rushed over and shook the child roughly. "Amina, get up!" No response. Panic set in. If something happened to the girl, the parents would surely blame her. In desperation, Halima lifted Amina and threw cold water on her face. The little girl's body jerked, but she remained unconscious. For the first time, Halima was scared. She had to act fast. Ibrahim arrived home fast. The moment he stepped inside, something felt off. The house was quiet, too quiet. Then he saw Amina pacing nervously, her face pale. "What's wrong?" he asked. Halima hesitated before mumbling, "Amina," she fainted. Time stopped. Ibrahim rushed to the couch where Amina lay limp, her breathing shallow. His heart clenched. He scooped her up in his arms, his hands shaking. "Zara!" he roared. "We need to go to the hospital now." Zara, who had just walked in, froze at the sight of her daughter's lifeless body. Guilt hit her like a wave. Tears filled in her eyes as she whispered, "What have I done?" They sped to the hospital, sirens blaring. The emergency room smelled of antiseptics and urgency. Zara and Ibrahim paced outside while the doctors worked on Amina. Minutes felt like hours. Finally, the doctor emerged, his expression grave. She was severely dehydrated and malnourished. This didn't happen overnight. Zara's breath hitched. Ibrahim clenched his fist. "Malnourished," he repeated, his voice rising. "We provide everything. How is that possible?" The doctor's gaze was sharp. "You may be providing, but is she being cared for?" Zara felt like the walls were closing in. The realization hit her like a slap. She had trusted the wrong person. She had failed as a mother. Back at home, fury burned in Ibrahim's chest. Zara was silent, too ashamed to speak. Halima sat nervously in the corner, pretending to be concerned, but Ibrahim had seen the truth in Amina's fragile state. "What did you do to my daughter?" he demanded. Halima's hand trembled. I took care of her." Zara's voice was dangerously low. "Did you?" Because the doctor said she was starving, that she was mistreated. Halima tried to lie, but then the cleaner who had been watching silently stepped forward. "I saw it," she said. "Halima barely fed Amina. She made her do chores. She ignored her cries." Zara's heart shattered. "You abused my child under my roof," she whispered. Halima's eyes darted to the door as if she was planning to run, but Ibrahim was faster. "Get out now!" Tears streamed down Zara's face as the woman she had trusted walked out of their lives forever. But the damage had already been done. For days, Zara couldn't look at herself in the mirror. She sat by Amina's hospital bed, watching her small chest rise and fall. The machines beeped softly, reminding her of her failure. She had been so busy chasing her success that she hadn't noticed her own child suffering. Amina woke up one night, her voice soft. "Mama!" Zara rushed to her side, grabbing her tiny hands. "Yes, baby, I'm here." Amina looked at her mother with quiet sadness. "I missed you." Tears blurred Zara's vision. "I miss you too, my love, and I'm never leaving you again." Ibrahim sat Zara down a week later. "We need to talk." Zara braced herself, expecting anger, but instead, he looked at her with a mix of love and disappointment. "Zara, our daughter almost died. We both made mistakes, but you have to admit, you put work before her." Her lips trembled. "I know." "So what do we do now?" Ibrahim asked. For the first time, Zara had clarity. She couldn't undo the past, but she could change the future. "I'm quitting my job," she said. Ibrahim's eyes widened. "Are you sure?" She nodded. "Amina needs me. I need her. I can rebuild my career later, but I can't get back the time I lost with her." It was the hardest decision she had ever made, but for the first time in years, she felt at peace. Coming home from the hospital, Zara held Amina's hand tightly. The house felt different, quieter, warmer. The first time, Zara cooked dinner herself. She bathed Amina with gentle hands, kissed her bruises, and read her bedtime stories. It wasn't easy. Amina was hesitant at first, unsure if this change would last, but with time, she began to trust again. One evening, as Zara tucked her in, Amina looked up and whispered, "I love you, Mama." Zara's heart swelled. She kissed her forehead and whispered back, "I love you more." The first time she finally understood, being a mother wasn't just about providing, it was about being present. And this time, she wasn't going to miss a single moment. Zara woke up early, feeling lighter than she had in years. For the first time, there was no rush to check emails, no urgent deadlines haunting her thoughts. Instead, her only priority was Amina. She walked to Amina's room, finding her daughter still asleep. Her small face was peaceful, her tiny fingers clutching the edge of her blanket. Zara sat beside her and whispered, "Good morning, my love." Amina stirred, blinking sleepily. "Mama." "Yes, baby, Mama's here." Amina smiled softly before snuggling closer. It was a small moment, but it filled Zara's heart in a way no work achievement ever had. Quitting her job wasn't as easy as she thought. The moment she sent in a resignation letter, her boss called. "Zara, we need you. You're one of our best accountants." For a moment, doubt crept in. She had worked so hard to get here. Was she making a mistake? Then, she thought of Amina lying weak in the hospital, calling for a mother who was never around. Her voice was firm. "I need to be with my daughter. My decision is final." When she hung up, she exhaled deeply. It was done. Now, the real challenge began, learning how to be fully present in Amina's life. Amina had been distant at first, unsure if this change would last. She hesitated before hugging Zara, kept her sentences short, and rarely initiated conversation. Zara noticed the hesitation and it broke her heart. One afternoon, she decided to make it up to Amina. She set up a small picnic in their backyard, complete with Amina's favorite snack, a soft blanket, and a new doll. When Amina saw it, her eyes widened. "Is this for me?" Zara smiled. "Yes, sweetheart, just you and me today." Amina sat down, cautiously taking a small bite of the cookies. "Mama," she finally said. "Yes, baby." Amina looked up with sad eyes. "Will you leave me again?" Zara's throat tightened. She reached for her daughter's hands. "Never again." Amina studied her for a moment, then slowly she leaned into her mother's arms. Zara held her tightly, silent tears running down her cheeks. She had almost lost her daughter, but now she was determined to never let that happen again. While Zara was rebuilding a bond with Amina, Ibrahim was struggling with his own emotions. He had always supported Zara's ambition, but deep down, he felt guilty. He had also been absent. One night, as he lay in bed, he turned to Zara. "Do you think I failed too?" Zara was quiet for a moment before nodding. "We both did." His chest tightened. "I should have been more present. I should have noticed Amina was suffering." Zara reached for his heart. "We can't change the past, Ibrahim, but we can be better now." For the first time in a long time, Ibrahim allowed himself to cry. They had almost lost everything, but now they had a second chance. With both parents making an effort, Amina began to thrive. They started a new routine, morning breakfast together, playtime in the evenings, and bedtime stories at night. Zara discovered things about her daughter she had never taken the time to notice before. Amina loved drawing. She was fascinated by colors and would spend hours creating pictures. One day, she proudly held up a drawing of their family. "See, Mama, it's you, me, and Baba." Zara felt a lump in her throat. "It's beautiful, baby." For the first time, their home felt warm, happy, whole. One evening, Zara sat on the couch scrolling through her phone. She stumbled upon a forum where working mothers were discussing their struggles. Many of them shared similar stories, missing their children's milestones, relying on nannies, and feeling constant guilt. She realized she wasn't alone. That night, she turned to Ibrahim. "I want to do something." "What do you mean?" he asked. "I want to help other mothers like me, mothers who feel trapped between work and family." Ibrahim nodded, pride shining in his eyes. "Then do it." Just like that, a new journey began. Zara started small, sharing her story on social media, offering tips on work-life balance, and encouraging women to prioritize their families. The response was overwhelming. Messages flooded in from mothers who felt hard, who thanked her for reminding them what truly mattered. Soon, she launched a small community for working mothers, offering support, advice, and resources for balancing career and motherhood. What had once been her greatest pain had now become her greatest purpose. One evening, as Zara and Ibrahim tucked Amina into bed, she looked at them with sleepy eyes. "Mama, Baba." "Yes, love." Amina smiled. "I'm happy." Zara and Ibrahim exchanged a look, their hearts swelling with emotion. Zara kissed Amina's forehead. "And we promise to always keep you happy." As they turned off the lights, Zara realized something. Success wasn't measured in promotions, salaries, or titles. It was measured in moments like these, in laughter, in love, and in never taking those you love for granted. This story teaches that success and wealth mean nothing if you neglect the ones who matter most. Prioritizing career over family can lead to painful consequences, but it's never too late to make things right. True success is found in love, presence, and the well-being of those you cherish. Thank you for watching. Kindly like, subscribe, and share.